Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. This is a rough review of the Snakebyte Gamepad S Pro wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. It comes with precision joysticks or analog sticks and dual vibration. Let's have a look when we get inside. Well, the first thing you'll notice is this. It's an update. Yes, you'll need a PC or a laptop to update the controls themselves. Quite simple, plug in and off you go. To do this, you'll need this cable. This is also the charging cable. This also comes in the box. Then you have this. This is the actual controller. With a quick pause in so I can get the controller out of the bag. This is actually it. D-pad. All the standard buttons, including the home button, which is strange enough here this time. Your plus and minus buttons, of course. Screenshot buttons, all here. Your X, A, Y, and B buttons. And of course your L and R, ZR, and of course your ZL, all on here. So what did I think of this control pad when it arrived? Well, to be honest with you, I actually got it for $34.99, and I seen it in my local store. Now when I went to my local store, I asked them about Nintendo Switch controllers, and the only thing they waffled on about was the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the official one from Nintendo. They never mentioned any of the third-party controllers that they actually had in stock, which, okay, they probably make more money off the Pro, and the Pro has a lot more benefits, most likely, but still, not everyone can afford the $54.99. So I said thank you, and I looked around and I picked up one of these. Now there are a few things missing from this controller. One of the main things missing is, of course, the HD rumble. Instead of HD rumble, they have gone for dual vibration. It's a nice feature, but it's not as good as HD rumble. But if you don't use games that use HD rumble, or even felt the difference between standard vibration and HD rumble, you're not going to miss it one little bit. Then you also have motion controls, or gyro control. This is also missing from this control pad, but then again, you are paying £20 less. So they can't really chuck everything into a controller when it costs a lot less. You do have a turbo function. That means if your fingers get a little bit lazy, you could turn the turbo button on and let that do the job for you. And that's quite simple. All you do is press the turbo button and assign it to one of the buttons. The only buttons you can't assign are the big trigger buttons, the ZL and the ZR. So the actual design, you got contours all down here, and of course down the other side, all along here, the back. If you look at the side view, everything is contoured. Gives it more square look, you could say. Now let me show you the Switch Pro controller. Another slight pause and while I go get it. Now, there you go. Snakebyte Pro controller. Now if you look at the Pro controller compared to the Snakebyte, look at the sides. This one's slightly straighter, yeah? And the buttons stick out quite a fair bit and go around slightly differently. This one is smooth and round. So when it comes to the difference, when you're holding the Pro controller, everything just feels right. It molds around your hand. But when you're holding this controller, everything seems to, notice different. My finger comes off. So you're actually not quite molded to your hand. It doesn't really feel right, but that's only if you use the Pro Controller. If you haven't used the Pro Controller, then you probably wouldn't even notice the difference. The buttons are the next difference. This is the Pro Controller buttons. They're kind of like a, cushiony, you could say, compared to the tactile bump of the Snakebyte one. Big difference. You've also probably noticed the analog sticks are in a completely different place. Switch Pro Controller, very similar to the Xbox controller. And the Snakebyte controller is very similar to the PlayStation controller. So if you're a PlayStation fan, you probably like where these are going. If you're not a PlayStation fan, you're more like an Xbox owner, or you prefer a PC owner of the Xbox controller, you'll probably prefer the setup like this. Now, I'm going to be honest, I like this setup because I've been using an Xbox controller with my PC for a long while. Using this setup took a little bit of time because my thumbs need to adjust where they were placing on the screen. I don't know. I think it took me a few hours, in all honesty. However, let's go on to how it performed. It performed really, really well. As you would expect, it worked with every single game that I had. It's also lighter than the Switch Pro controller. But being lighter also means it feels empty. That may be because it's missing the HD rumble and the gyro sensors. Personally, I do not know. Connecting it was very simple as well. 2 seconds and you're done. Just plug it in and bam, take it out, wireless connection, boom, away you go. Everything about this controller shined reasonably good quality. I'm not going to say high-end quality because high-end is something that costs a lot more. But for what you're paying for right here, just for a generic controller which has a turbo feature which helps you play games if you don't want to press the button anymore, and of course rumble features, it's all here. And in all honesty, I even played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild with this control pad. And even though I like this control pad for the gyro sensors, so I can motion control my aims and everything else, I started to get used to using this control pad when I did not have gyro features. So, my final thoughts are quite simple. It is a choice. Price and features, that's basically it. It's a choice of, do you like the price and the features? $34.99 minus a few features. $54.99, you get all the features. And that's basically the only choice you have between these two. The design is okay. You will get used to it. It does feel good in the hand. There are a few things I would like to have seen. I would have liked to have seen some grips going down here, so it grip better, because I found during the winter time we have our heating on in the house. It gets a bit hot, my hands get a bit sweaty, and I found that my hands were moving a lot more on this controller than they were doing on the Pro controller because of the grip feel. Other than that though, it is a fantastic controller. So if you're looking for a controller that's a good value for money, has plenty of features, I would go for this one. Otherwise, if you want the whole shebang bang for your buck, pay a lot more, get everything you want, this is where you're going to go. So, on that note, I thank you very much for watching this rough review or rough look at the Snakebyte Gamepad S Pro wireless controller. The link to purchasing it will be in the description, and a link to the full review will also be in the description as well. Thank you very much and goodbye.